Hi, my name is Brea, and I'm here to give you a few quick facts about UK wildlife. Today I'll be focusing in on the mallard and the swan, both staples of our UK waterways. But first up, we have the mallard. It may seem a little boring from some people's perspective, but the species really does have some interesting quirks. The majority of the domestic ducks, including the Peking duck, were bred from the wild mallard. There are representations of ducks in Greek and Roman culture, but confirming a timescale and location for domestication is difficult with huge variation among the sources. The general consensus seems to be that Asia were the first to do so, with large-scale duck farms being noted in China from 500 BC. So, ducks. First up, their quacks do echo, but weirdly, male ducks rarely quack at all. It's females that make all the noise. Mallards have 3 eyelids, they can see in colour, and they do not have blood vessels or nerves in their feet, so can't feel the cold. Mallards also use lookout ducks. There was a study from Indiana State University that showed that mallards will sleep in groups, with those on the ends of the line sleeping with one eye open to keep watch. A group of mallards is called a paddling or a raft, which is a deceptively cute collective term when you consider some aspects of their behaviour. In fact, sexual conflict within the species has led to a rather interesting evolutionary arms race. Male mallard, called a drake, has a corkscrew-shaped penis, which may be up to half the length of its body. The drake will also exhibit some other rather violent tactics while pursuing its mate within the group. In response, the female mallard, called a hen, has developed a maze-like reproductive tract with plenty of pockets, spirals and dead ends. The thought is that this will allow her to delay or block unwanted partners, and it gives her more control over her brood. I've linked to a paper on this in the description below if you fancy some truly bizarre bedtime reading. And moving very swiftly on to the mute swan, it's one of the biggest birds in the world with a wingspan of up to 2.4 metres and weighing as much as 15 kilograms. While it's a common myth, the Queen does not own all the swans in Britain, but she does have a crack team of swan markers. These guys are called swan uppers and have a long tradition dating back to the 12th century of marking swans on the River Thames. This takes place every year in the 3rd week of July. It started off as a way to make sure there are enough swans for feasting, but now the practice is more focused on conservation and education. Another common myth is that swans can break your arm. While they may get a little territorial, it's no more than other birds, it just so happens that the swan is a tad more intimidating. In an interview in 2014, David Barber, the Queen's chief swan upper, noted that this idea likely came up in the 12th century. At this point, swans were a valuable commodity, and it may be that gamekeepers and others with a vested interest spread this rumour to stop people stealing their stock. Turkeys came along, the swan went out of fashion, but the myth remained. But overall, this idea of swans as vicious is very overblown. There are thousands of swans in the UK and very few attacks ever reported. As with most birds, they pose little danger to adults as long as you treat them with respect. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's given you some interesting food for thought next time you're down the ponds. Thank you for watching.